How do you guys know this couple and this lady that you served, and how did that project come about?
Well, we first met Lynette several years ago when her husband Warren was still alive. And in fact, her husband was responsible for getting the Saints Circle group together.
Awesome.
And they came for about a year or two.
Wonderful.
And then he went home to be with Jesus. And so, you know, she's a widow woman. Her son lives with her now. And she just needed some help with her deck and the steps leading up to the deck, and they were just completely rotten out. So we removed and replaced them with treated lumber, and turned out really good, solid as a rock. So, and she was happy, and it just blessed all of us to be able to be there for her and help her out.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's we're just wired that way. You know, God created us to serve each other, and it's just so fulfilling.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, yeah, she was so appreciative. Yeah, she even let me hold her snake, her pet snake.
I saw that picture, so that's what that was from.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, she really appreciated everything that we did out there.
Yeah.
So.
That's interesting too, that you guys got to walk with him as a couple.
Yes.
And
yes.
now that he's with Jesus, you had an opportunity to serve and kind of nurture her and take care of her.
Yep.
And I know for me, I would just greatly appreciate that if I knew that my family would be taken care of.
Right.
If something were to happen to me.
Exactly. Yes. It's so important.
If you could give a message to some of the younger groups in the church, what would you encourage them in this kind of aspect of serving others, and what the value of it is? Would you?
I would just, and for one thing, I just love all the youth in our church. They just exude the love of Jesus and the zeal, and I love that in so many of them. But I would just encourage them to keep on serving, because that's how we get our fulfillment in life, really. I mean, it's, you know, you can try serving yourself and it just falls flat. Yeah. It really does. But like I was saying before, we're just wired that way. God made us that way, you know, and he was a perfect example of that, of serving. You know.
He was. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Zeke.
So tell me a little bit about the project you guys did. I know Tracy was telling us some of the details, but the story, how'd you get in touch with this lady, and what made you think about it?
Well, I remember last year we fixed her front porch, her steps, you know, and just a while back she asked me about her TV or something in her house was messed up, you know, and I ended up having another TV, but it was better shape than the one she had, so I went in and went over and helped her with the TV, you know, take the old one out and gave her a new one. And that's when I noticed the bathroom, the shape it was in. And then when she started explaining stuff, you know, what she's had to go through with it, you know, it really, you know, got my attention quite a bit.
Sure.
With the lady, she's a mom, single mom. Her toilet was falling through the floor. It was leaning sideways. She had it duct taped on so it wouldn't slide off. So I don't even know how she was using it.
She has her little girl, and, you know, that are hurting her feet on the tile, you know, and it's crazy that I'd be relatable to that, but I am. you know.
That's so cool.
And my little girl is my world, and I know that that's the same, you know, her little girl is her world, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just able to pick the toilet up. The floor came with it. They're having to replace floor joists in a few areas and then put down new subfloor and finish it off with linoleum. The toilet's good. Everything, have to redo some plumbing. There was a lot of plumbing issues underneath, but hopefully get her set back up to not be a hazard for a little girl. Was cutting her feet on the tile because the tile was all cracked. So a very much needed project.
Absolutely.
So, sweet lady, you know, just trying to raise her daughter, doing all she can with that. So just needing some extra help getting her home livable. But yeah.
There's two sides of me that were drawn, you know, being a carpenter, you know, the structure issue, you know, can get to a spot where it's, you know, unfixable. I mean, where it's lots and lots of money, you know.
Yeah.
But the other side of it, being a single parent myself, you know, there was a time where, you know, I wouldn't have really known much how she felt, but, you know, raising my little daughter on my own, you know, there was a, you know, I had not just a need, but there's a feeling that I seen in her eyes, you know, like there's something I seen there, you know, like the lack of, you know, like where there's no hope, and like that she hasn't had that, like that she was, the need was there, but you know,
Yeah.
and that was a feeling that I had, you know, very familiar with, you know, when Faith was about a week old, you know, I went to my house and everything was gone. She, you know, her mother sold everything and tore everything apart, and then, you know, I remember selling the refrigerator, so there was flies all in the house. It was, but I was holding this baby, and I had that feeling of not knowing, you know, what was I gonna do. It was a 1 week old baby. It was so hard. But when I was sharing, you know, looking at her, and I could, that feeling, I recognized it real quickly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I gotta do something. Something needs to be done, you know.
It reminds me of what we talked about at church a couple weeks ago with the splachnisomai, you know, being moved almost in your stomach with compassion for a project. And obviously that happened with you and with your team. How do you see it playing out now with this lady and her child, and the bathroom being fixed? How has it changed their life? And also maybe, you know, why is this even important as Jesus people for us to do this kind of stuff?
Well, you know, that's how I know secondhand, because at the time where I had nothing, I had nobody, you know, I was on my own. But then there's a few people, you know, from the crossing, you know, from the circle groups that reached out to me. Do you need anything? Can you this and this? Pretty much all I really needed was a hug at the moment, you know. I needed someone to, you know, but then, you know, I didn't know much about baby girl clothes or this and this, and people were offering me clothes and helping me with diapers, and then like a crib and just things, you know. But it was mostly that somebody was, you know, that I felt I wasn't by myself. I didn't felt so alone, you know. And the Lord was sending people in my direction and it started to blossom hope in my life.
Absolutely.
And I feel that, you know, that same thing will erupt in her, that knowing that she's not alone in this, you know, that the Lord is, you know. And that's what I told her too. I said, this is from God, showing you, you know, is letting you know that He sees you, you know, going to work and you're doing your best, you and your, you know, your single mother, that you're not getting overlooked. God is watching, seeing you, you know, and that He cares about you. Just how, you know, that it happened with me, you know. That gave me hope was that, you know, we were being God's extended arm, and you're reaching out, you know, just like it was for me.
Yeah, amen.
Well, I was a part of the result from the, you know,
From when you were,
from when and now, you know, she will as well, you know, and that's how it works, you know.
Amen. Yeah, like a fire.
Like we're spreading it.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What circle are y'all? Where did y'all come from?
Well, we kind of had a group years ago that over time it kind of people moved and it kind of fell away.
Yeah.
Different seasons were going on in life. But we've remained friends through all that, and so now when we have opportunities to help people in the community, we kind of come together. And so we just want to be the hands and feet of Jesus and reach out to others, and we enjoy laughing together as we do that. So, but as far as this project, Gina, the lady that we're helping, had gone to school in Mena a couple years back when she was a teenager, and Mary, one of our group ladies, had gone to school with her, happened to find out about the need that she has going on, all the needs that she has going on. And so to give you a little background on Gina, when she was in her late teens, she was helping her dad and sister remodel a home. And there was something that happened with fumes, and the house, they had closed it up, and there was an explosion. She lost her father and her sister. She sustained burns over like 80% of her body. So she was significantly injured in that. She went on to, of course, go through lots of surgeries and things. She ended up graduating college. She worked for years at the University of Texas teaching.
Wow.
But then over time, as most people know with burn victims, the scar tissue, it kind of worsens as you get older. Sometimes you have to have multiple surgeries and that sort of thing to relieve tightness and help your body still be able to move. So, meantime, she and her fiance had bought this place and had come back to Mena, and they were working on it together, and he passed away suddenly, unexpected.
My goodness.
So she suffered another loss. So that has kind of left her adrift, so to speak, with the plans that she had with limited income. She had not been on, she has not had an additional income since the loss of her fiance, and that was at least a year ago.
Wow.
And now she is finally being able to get on disability to help because she is unable to work now.
Sure.
So this is Miss Gina's house, and she has done a lot for what this is. They have put up, Ken came in and wired her lights. Before that, it was just kind of like a little bit of a dark cave. She has a wood stove for her heat. She doesn't have any air conditioner. So we're working on some of that stuff. Her dryer is actually outside. She has some garage doors, or garage spaces that have a lot of her things in it, so she kind of uses all of this together. But some of the things that we're gonna do still are framing in this doorway. They're gonna wood frame this. She had cardboard covering the air holes for right now, but she really has kind of decorated it pretty cute. She has a lot of storage in different areas, and we're gonna work on covering up the insulation and stuff in some of these spaces and trying to get some of the air that's coming in through the blocks covered up. Over here is gonna be where we're gonna put in a bathroom. We have to wait for the plumber to come and do some of the floor cutting because he has to cut out a section of the concrete. So that's kind of an ongoing thing, but since there's not any indoor plumbing here, kind of actually it's interesting because this is how I grew up. I grew up without a flush toilet, and so it was kind of bringing back some memories when she was talking about using her hospital toilet and how she has to take care of that. And then out here, this is actually a garage door. You can see she's got it very sealed off to keep the air out, but we're gonna frame that in and put a window in there so she has some light because there's not a single window here. So that's something else we're gonna do, but it might be a little bit.
She is such a gracious, tenacious lady that has a strong faith. And she's so humble and appreciative of anything that we do. She does not want to ask for anything. So we've had to drag it out of her what would be beneficial to her. So we've kind of made lists, and this is not going to be a one and done project. It's going to be, it will be over probably quite a bit of time. So kind of some just continued projects to help her out. And we love that because that way we get to form relationships.
Absolutely.
Instead of just the one and done, and then we don't see the people anymore.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to bring her into this century,
Yeah.
with the things that people take for granted, such as running water and a bath. We found a shower unit that we're going to be installing. We have a toilet. We're currently looking for a vanity. We're going to be, as I said, this is an ongoing process,
That's
but
so cool.
we're going to be pulling that together, and we're also making her more of a kitchen. She kind of has a kitchenette going right now. So that's kind of some of the things that we're going to help her with.
Absolutely. Why should Jesus people even be doing this at all? You know,
Wow.
like,
Well, he loves us. He blesses us.
Yeah.
And I don't think we just need to sit back and enjoy our blessings.
Yeah.
We need to bless others. And, we can go to a third world country and do it, but sometimes the people are in our backyard
yeah,
and we need to help them.
that's true.
Yeah. And we just need to love them and show Jesus his love.
Yeah, and I'm sure Miss Gina feels that. So
She
thank
does.
you.
She's
Yeah.
been very appreciative.
Cool. Thank you.